Hi, welcome to part 5 of What's in the Box Mystery Quilt 2019. This mystery is doing well. The investigation is getting quite involved. I trust that as investigators you're enjoying your investigation. We've split off into teams, we've done some different work, we've worked together. In general, we've done pretty well gathering evidence. There's a lot of evidence gathering. And this time we're going to find some new evidence, but we're also going to be delving into some previous evidence and we'll find where that takes us. So you will have your notes. We've got some notes on various things here. We've got some labels. And so we'll just get started. So to start off with, we are going to be delving into some previous evidence. We had some strips that we cut in part 2, and we're going to be using those this time. And that means that the evidence will be a little bit changed by the end of this little session. And then we've got some other things to delve into as well. So you can see on the notes here, which I know that you've got in front of you, we've got to use some of the previous evidence, and it immediately gets changed into some small squares which have a label, just a temporary label. And then as we go on a little bit further down here, you can see that we're actually going to be creating some new evidence. So to get started, as you can see, I've already done my cutting. I've already joined my piece here, which looks a lot like this one, but there's 2 different colorways, so we can work on both. These are things that you could chain piece, so things go fairly smoothly. And then we're going to add to those, and we'll end up with some different evidence to label and put away. So as you can see, I've got my strips on, and we've now got some new little blocks. The notes tell you how many of each colorway to make, so kind of fun to get these bits done. And then we're going to label this evidence. I've already done most of mine here. So we've got F5G and we've got F5F. So that's kind of exciting, finding some new things that come to light using some old evidence. And in the other colorway we've got these ones here, so the 5G and the 5F there. So you can see that things are coming together quite nicely with this evidence, but don't go away, we haven't finished yet. There's still more delving into previous evidence to do this time, and to see where that takes us as well. So now we're going to look at some other previous evidence. On this page of your notes, you'll see what we're going through here. So we had some 3F and 3D pieces that we had done in part 3. So we're going to be revisiting that part of the evidence, and it gets combined into something kind of quite exciting. So it's going to be fairly important when you do this for you to make sure that everything is done in the right direction. So there's pictures here, so that the white is the background colour, and then you've got your other colours there, and we're actually wanting to join these together into rows. So they're alternating. It tells you here how many to use. You've got 14 of one and 13 of another, because you start and finish, better put it around the right way for you, you start and finish with the same one. And so we've got one of those will go on the other end as our end piece. And if you can see, what's happening here is that we're getting a little, in this case this is a little blue sort of thing happening and a green thing happening, so they should always be together with their own colour. And as well as that, just make sure that when you set them out ready for picking them up to do in your rows, that everything is up the same way. So set them on your table so that everything's sitting ready for you to collect it, so that you don't turn them around by mistake. Colour placement is important. You can see we kind of get this sort of ribbon effect going along this strip here. So if you, I went ahead and I put them all together in pairs, just leaving the end ones to go on, and then I joined up the little pairs into the strips. Tells you how many to do, what to do, and then at the end you've got to do something different there as well. So I'll go ahead and finish putting this row together. So I've joined up most of the strip, and now I've just got to put this last bit that I've just been making on there. Then it'll need to be pressed. So I've actually joined up my whole row now, so just alternating the two little pieces that we had, the 3F and the 3D, all the way along, and this is the last bit that I've just attached. So now I'm just going to press these. I've been pressing all the seams one way because it just seemed easier on this particular occasion, and then this strip will be done. So evidence is looking pretty good. I've put together my strips, and as you can see, these are quite long strips, but they're kind of fun. They look a little bit like a ribbon going along in the two colours, and at one end there's one colour, and at the other end there's a square of the other colour. That's all written in your notes. And so I've actually gone ahead and done my 4 strips. You need to make 4 of these strips using that previous evidence. So I've gone ahead and made all my strips here. This is kind of fun, and I'm labelling them. This is going to be labelled 5A. This evidence gets a new label because it is now changed. And this evidence gathering is just amazing. And then I've also done my strips here in the other colourway as well. So where I had the white in that first one, I've got the dark colour in this one, and I just think they're looking amazing. So go ahead, get your evidence from previous times and rearrange it so that it has now become new evidence, and it's pretty exciting because that's the way life goes. As you start investigating things, things come to light. So, but don't go away, there's more. So we need to go back into our box, we need to go back into our top secret package, and we need to take out again this little package that we've had out previously, because we're going to split off into teams again. We're doing so well, but there's some little areas that need some different types of investigation, so the best way is to split off into teams. So we're back onto this team selection process, and I'm sure by now you've worked out how it's going to work. We need to have the yellow and the blue pieces this time, and the same as we did last time, decide who's starting, and I'm going to say yellow's starting, so I'm going to spin. Whoops, that wasn't very fair, was it? Spin, and it's landed in yellow, so yellow can come on the board. Now we'll spin for the blue. Oh, and it's just in blue, so we're both on the board, and so it goes on. And blue has come home first. So guess what you're going to do? You're going to send me an email, and it's going to say what's in the box blue, or it's going to say what's in the box yellow, so that you can get your next part, because as I said, we're splitting into teams, so we send out different instructions to the 2 different teams. So please do that as soon as you reasonably can, because you won't get your next part until you've done that. So that's it for this time. That was the end of part 5. We've been very busy. My evidence is already up here on the wall. I've got my 5G, my 5F, I've got my strips of 5A, I've done my team selection process so that I can receive part 6, and I'm going to send an email to what's in the box, send it to SusanClaire@GourmetQuilter.com, and tell them whether it's going to be blue or yellow team, and there we go. So thank you so much for participating in this, and you're doing a great job as investigators, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next part. Thank you.